right, so now that Levi has this trench finished, we're gonna head over to the barn. We have 3 different trenches to dig over there, 1 at the back of the barn and 2 in the front. The one at the back of the barn will have the piping that comes from our 2 downspouts that will be coming off of the 2 different roofs on the barn. Then we have the one that will go under the driveway, and that will come from our French drain that we put over by the water catchment. Then the last trench that we're gonna have to dig will be from the house to our water catchment area. That's gonna house a few different lines, 2 water lines and 1 electrical line. So because we're gonna be storing our solar system in the barn, we'll need to run some power from the barn to the house, and we might as well do that now while that ground is dug up. So let's head to the barn.
didn't want to have to move this gutter, take the gutter down and move this IBC tote, but I really think it's going to benefit us. This shipping container has all of its weight is down on this foot right here. And there's a big sonotube. If you guys watched our video about building this slab, there's a big sonotube down there, and this is all like backfilled gravel, and I'm starting to hit gravel down here, so you can see. But what I'm afraid of is I'm going to undermine that footing a little bit. So I think what we're going to do is come down with our PVC for the gutters, and then I'm going to 45 it and come over here and then go back that way. That way I kind of stay away from this general area. And the only bad thing is we got to move this IBC tote.
Man. There you go. Come on.
You can see that I'm off. Of course, the tractor was in the All right, well, 3 down, 1 to go. We got the trench for the gutters and the water line to the house from the water catchment tanks and to the water catchment tanks. Now we have to finish this French drain. The hard part's going to be going through this driveway, this gravel. There's a good, I don't know, 8 inches of gravel. There's some bigger stuff on the bottom and then some 3/4 minus on the top. So we're going to do the best we can. Maybe try to use the blade on the bucket, somehow combination of the two, and just kind of push this to one side and then maybe dig and put piles on either side of the driveway. We'll just have to see how it goes.
Ryder, come. Good boy. Stay. right, last trench is completely done. We have it level with the bottom of that water catchment basin, and then it gradually falls
underneath the driveway here, all the way down to the level with the top of that ditch for the driveway for water and stuff. So we'll have a little hand digging down there at the end. All right, there's one last thing we need to do before we're done. And over here, I dug a 45 off of this barn because I didn't want to undermine this footing. And the exact same thing on this side needs to happen. But because our hole for the water catchment basin is dug, there's no way for me to get the little mini excavator over here. We got this berm here because we set our barn or our house kind of in a little hill right here. So all this has been cut in, so there's no way for me to drive that little mini excavator. I would never be able to get close enough even if I could get down on that side. So we're gonna hand dig this, and like we showed you before, it is concrete, man. It is so stinking hard. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my mini jackhammer here for busting tile up. That's what I use it for. But I'm gonna see if that works, and then just kind of chisel this out. Let's see if we can get this chisel to work. Yeah, it works pretty good, man. Just chisel away. And you can see that that little SDS works amazing. I use it for chipping up tile when I'm breaking up a job or doing something, but it works great for this. That's pretty much the slope, and then I just have to line it up with this one, which will sit on top of our French drain and then go up and then dump into our big water tanks. So next up we'll be setting those and laying in all of our drains and then doing all of our backfill. So cool. All right, see you. Well, good morning, guys. Today I think I'm gonna work on finishing our French drain for the water catchment. We have the basic French drain is in, covered up, you guys saw that, but now we need to extend the French drain over to this trench that we dug, and then we're gonna have that daylight out in that ditch for our driveway. And so yesterday we went and picked up 20-foot long PVC pipes. I've never seen pipes that long, but they have a swedged end, so you don't have to use a coupler. And basically, I'm using Schedule 40 for all of our downspouts that run back to our water catchment tank, and this pipe that runs underneath the driveway for the barn. So, talking with our excavator, he suggested we use Schedule 40 instead of the thin-walled stuff. And basically we're just gonna set this in this trench and then do some backfill. It'd be nice to get our driveway back. We still have to do the foundation waterproofing, and then we can work on that drain tile, which is basically a French drain at the bottom of the footing. And so we have trenches dug for everything, so we're gonna start doing that now. So today I'm just gonna work on getting this finished. Tiny's in working on a video, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this. Our big goal is to get this water catchment tank hooked up, get the gutters for the barn connected to it, and then run all the plumbing up to this point so that we could backfill these tanks and set them in, and we could start collecting water. Right now we're having to haul water with our IBC totes. which, you know, isn't ideal. We'd love to have some rain. It hasn't rained in quite a while here, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on this so that when it does rain, we can get some water. All right, first thing we got to do is uncover this French drain. Look at how cool that looks. All right, distraction. All right, so first thing we got to do is uncover this French drain. And what we need to do is extend this out and then 45 it. Both of these lines are 45s, so what we're going to do is 45 this and then have it run down this trench. And we dug this trench fall from here to there, but it looks like it's a little bit high there in the middle. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, so here is our 45. This is just a standard PVC schedule 40-45, and the problem you're gonna have with connecting these thin wall drain tile to a schedule 40. So here's a chunk of it right here that's non-perforated. Here's my 45. You can see that it's not the right diameter. Because this is thin walled and it's not a schedule 40, it won't fit. And so the way you connect a schedule 40 pipe to this basal schedule 20 or whatever it is they make an adapter that goes from schedule 40 down to this thin walled 4-inch pipe. And so you put this coupler on here that steps it up, and then you would have to cut a chunk of a 4-inch pipe and then glue this in here, and then this is the way you're gonna have to do the 45. So right there, I'm gonna put out a piece of pipe, I don't know, like a foot long, connect this flange on here, then I'll cut another piece of pipe, glue this 45 on there, and then we'll be able to start using our schedule 40 and go all the way down to where we need to be. All right, we got our primer and our glue. We got these two things primed. Now we're just gonna apply the glue on there. Don't skimp on it. Alright, now we can go ahead and apply our fitting, our reducer fitting. So here's the coupler with a piece of pipe on the end of it, and then we're going to glue our reducer onto it, and then we'll glue the reducer onto the pipe. So I'm just going to go ahead and get these glued up, then we'll measure the other stuff we have. Let's see if I can do both of those at the same time. If this was going to be visible, I would definitely clean off this extra glue. Be just a little more careful, but we're burying all this in the ground. All right, so there's that glued up. We'll let that dry, and then we'll shut our glue up here so it doesn't dry up. Now we just got to go and measure this and cut that piece of extension of this thin-walled drain tile pipe, so we can extend it off and get it over there. Basically, this is going to go that way down the trench, line up with our pipe here, and then it'll go that way. So that looks pretty good. We go up in there. So I would say maybe like a 11-inch piece of that pipe. So we'll just mark this 11. Grab our sawzall. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and glue this section of pipe up, prime it. This stuff takes a little while to dry. Once it's dry, we'll glue it up. Went ahead and glued this long 40-foot run of this pipe. And then I'm going to figure out how I can get it to set down in this trench without messing it up. Because you want to work from one side to the other. So since we started on the other side of this French drain, we're going to connect all these pieces. We'll drop this big pipe down and then we'll pull it into this fitting. If I were to put the fitting on there now, I would have to like manipulate this around, which might actually be easier to do, but we'll have to see how that would work. I might go ahead and just do that. All right, we're ready. We have the 45 glued on the big pipe, and we have the big pipe glued together. What we're gonna do is Tanya's gonna hold one end, I'm gonna pull this block out, and then I'm gonna go down in the middle and use a ratchet strap to hold it up while I pull that middle block out, and then together we'll lower this down. And then while I'm holding up the middle, Tanya's gonna jump out of the hole, run to the other end, and then lower,
jump out.
and then lower the other end down. So wish us luck. All right, you ready?
Okay. Are we lowering?
Yep. Try and set yours down.
Okay. All right, now I gotta jump out, huh?
Yep.
All right.
All right. All right, that worked out great. So now we'll jump back down in the water catchment hole and connect that pipe, glue it all up, and then we just have to extend our piece down there, and then we can start backfilling. All right, our pipe is all ready. Everything's been primed. Let's go ahead and glue this piece that goes into the French drain first. Try to be a little neater. All right, there's that. And then now what we got to do is line this one up and glue it. This is going to be a little bit tricky. Not a big fan of this Christie's glue. I'm sure there's a reason why they want you to use this, but it just seems to me that it sets up incredibly fast. Almost too fast, so you don't have any working time. All right, see if we can get it in there. All right, that's all connected. I'll probably add a little bit more rocks around all this stuff and then try to wrap this fabric around down here just so we don't have any issues with dirt or anything getting into that spot. But pretty good. We just got a couple little level spots. That's why I left the strap down there, so I'm gonna pick that up and throw a little extra dirt down there, get that so it's a perfect nice pitch. It goes down about to the end of the width of the driveway, and then it falls off a little bit more, and so everything looks good. I'll start backfilling and then we'll work on that end. All right, that looks super flat. Looking from the other side. I got the laser back out and rechecked it. There is a pitch down to there, and then another kind of a little bit of a longer pitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that green strap, I'm going to move it down to this end, and then I'm going to do the same thing after I extend this pipe out to this edge, and then I'm going to 45 it down this ditch, I guess you'd call it, a little ways, and then we're going to put I don't even know what angle it is. It's a super sharp angle, but it's a yard grate that prevents anything from crawling up into that French drain and stopping the flow or building a nest or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and just backfill this, start pulling the gravel back, and then we'll work on this end drain. the tractor's way easier. I'll just do a little hand digging, then I got to get the tractor somehow on this side of the trench. So we have a trench there, then there's a trench behind the house, and then of course this trench, and then our ditch that goes all the way down our driveway. So it's really hard for me to get the tractor onto this side. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get the tractor on this side. We'll do the same thing, scoop up this dirt, start putting it in this hole, and then might have some hand stuff to do, and then we'll put all this gravel back on. All right, we got the trench all the way dug, extended all the way out, and then we're going to put a grate on the end of that. It's not quite 45 degrees, but that's all that we could do. And once we put rocks around there and stuff, I don't think you're going to notice that it's off by a couple degrees. So what I'm going to do is the same exact thing as I was doing before. Use this ratchet strap to kind of pick it up and set it down so that the whole pipe is kind of supported underneath of it. And then we'll backfill the rest of our fill dirt here, and then we'll pull all this gravel back over the top. So I have that kind of set aside to where I could get like a 6 to 8 inch fill of this gravel that we had set aside, and then this part of it will be completely done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on the tractor, drive all the way around to this side, pick up this dirt, backfill it, and then start pulling the gravel back.